Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Liam Jenkins and welcome to another video on this channel. Usually we take a look at the recent headlines from training camp, but it was a bit of a slow day today, and outside of a Jalen Reagor rebound where he looked really good and it apparently took to some tough love, there wasn't really much to say. The spotlight for today was placed on Deshaun Watson, as it absolutely shouldn't be. And that's what I want to talk about right now, because the more this gets thrown up, you may as well just call Howie Roseman smash mouth at this point. A, because if he makes a trade, he deserves a smash in the mouth. And B, because they just don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. You get where I'm going with it. For whatever reason, the Philadelphia Eagles continue to be linked with a quarterback who is currently facing allegations of 24 different counts of sexual assault or sexual harassment. That in itself is morally disgraceful from the Philadelphia standpoint. So why would the Eagles look at Deshaun Watson? Like, why does this keep coming up? And we can say it's rumors, we can say it's hearsay. I mean, look, I said Zach Ertz months ago would not be traded after the NFL draft. According to a million beat writers and insiders, he's now in Buffalo. He's not. He's on the roster. This should all be smoke and mirrors. I think it's Houston's camp trying to build up that there is a demand for him. I don't think there is, for very clear and obvious reasons. A, it's morally disgusting. B, it's morally disgusting. And C, there is way too much significant risk, Griff. Even if you do believe he's innocent and you bring him in, and so all it takes is one count to go the whole distance, and it's prison time or it's a suspension, and it is an absolute travesty for a franchise that somehow decided that would be a good idea. It would make a lot of sense, okay? So let's look at why Howie Roseman would be looking at this, or might be looking at it. And before we do, I just want to say, I don't agree with any of it, okay? I don't think any team should be looking at trading for Deshaun Watson right now. I think out of respect for the victims that have spoken up, if someone came to you, a female friend, and said, I was sexually assaulted last night, or maybe a rapper or a film star touched me in an inappropriate place or demanded I do something, you believe them, you comfort them, you want them to feel better. If you would be comfortable with anyone you know that is a female spending time with Deshaun Watson in a one-on-one environment, in a massage clinic or whatever it might be, and you'd be alright with that, have a word with yourself, okay? I understand the whole innocent until proven guilty thing, but something like this, it should not be innocent until proven guilty. If you have been accused of something and you don't go out and say you haven't done it, and there isn't an immediate blowback, and they are being very quiet about this, and it has been dragged out for months and months, it tends to lean towards something a bit more serious. So out of respect, I think it's for the women that have stood up. Like, we should be empowering sexual abuse victims. We should be empowering women that have gone through trauma and maybe don't feel comfortable enough to go forward to the police or to their friends or family for this kind of thing, because they feel that it's just going to be turned a blind eye to and the guy can get off scot-free. That's exactly what will be happening with Watson. It will be morally disgusting. I don't agree with any of it, and I think it should absolutely not happen. With that in mind, we've got to at least see why the Eagles would explore it. And for that, we've got to put ourselves in the shoes of GM Howie Roseman, who is one of the shrewdest traders in the NFL. He has grown the reputation of, somehow winning most trades outside of the Jannard Avery one, which, 4th round pick, lads. I mean, come on. He seems to get a fair return, doesn't he, for the trades he makes, old Howie, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So why would he look at Deshaun Watson? Well, if we're being objective, okay, objectively, he is a top 5 quarterback in this league. Objectively, he is very young still at 24 years old. Objectively, he had an incredible season on a terrible team, has a contract that will demand long-term security, okay? And now, his stock has taken a 90% dip because of everything that's happened off the field. If you're a general manager and you are seeking value and you are smelling a chance to get a quarterback that is among the elite in the NFL at a fraction of what it would normally cost, or a window that was otherwise closed, I can understand why he's at least doing due diligence. And if there is enough due diligence between Watson's camp, between the Texans, between the Eagles, between the victims, between law enforcement, that they can draw a conclusion that he is innocent or is not fully guilty of these charges, or some have been potentially exaggerated, or whatever it might be, I get why they would make a push. because you are talking about a quarterback that will absolutely be an upgrade over Jalen Hurts and an upgrade over 90% of quarterbacks in the NFL. When you partner that with the fact that Watson has a monumental cap hit and the Eagles are primed to build through the draft, the one thing they've got to work out over the next few years is how to get rid of these heavy contracts. The Texans would command a king's ransom for Deshaun Watson, and that would mean shifting a lot of those heavy contracts to kind of offset it. So if you could get rid of the heavy hitters, and I'm talking guys that were being spoke about in trade rumors, like Fletcher Cox, like a Lane Johnson, I don't want to say Brandon Brooks, he's taking a restructure, like a Zach Ertz, like a Derek Barnett, like a Darius Slay, and you can move 3 or 4 of those guys, rip that salary cap value out, maintain as much draft capital as possible, be average to bad for a year and build through the draft. What you've done is redistribute that money. And all of this money that has been placed on the offensive line, on the defensive line, Darius Slay's pocket, if you can move all of that, put it into Deshaun Watson and get rookie deals and cheap free agents and build out gradually again for the long term with a franchise QB for the next 5 to 6 years, I get it. Okay, it would be a ridiculous YOLO. It would be something that sends a city into turmoil from a general manager who's trying to find value. I get it. Doesn't mean I agree with it. And the reason I don't agree with it is because it would, in fairness, undo everything he has spent the last 6 months doing. The Eagles came into this offseason with an obliterated salary cap picture. They had to ask everyone and their family to restructure contracts. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Fletcher Cox's pet rabbit has had to restructure a deal at some point this offseason. They then go and make sure they get a lot of draft capital, bring in as many rookies as possible to keep those contracts low. They get rid of Carson Wentz. They build the team around Jalen Hurts. They bring in these new coaches that are young and energetic and can get behind Hurts and build a really strong receiving core and a diverse backfield and a healthy offensive line to best help him. You've rid yourselves of a disease that's been manifesting in this team for quite some time now. You massively rocked the boat with the drafting of Jalen Hurts. You ruined everything you had going for you. It all went belly up last year. You've just somehow got away with it in the past year. Over the past 6 months, from January to now, you've undone it all. And you've got out scot-free, and you can swipe the sweat from your forehead. You were chosen over Doug Peterson, over Jim Schwartz, over everyone. You were the one. Jeffrey Lurie said, no, I'm going to double down on you, Howie. You get one more crack at this, fix this team. And he has. And trading for Deshaun Watson would eradicate every single move he made for what? A morally unjust shot at a quarterback that has been alleged to assault 24 women in a sexual nature that may not even deserve to play the game of football again if even one of those cases is true. You take a quarterback in Jalen Hurts who has worked his ass off over the past offseason, who has done nothing but stay away from the rat poison, as Nick Saban would call it. He has ignored the Carson Wentz noise. He didn't pay mind to the trade rumors all offseason. He got in the lab. He worked with a coach. He got his receivers out. He worked with them. He worked with Lane Johnson. He's quiet. He's under the radar. Then at camp, he's a leader by example. You take someone that embodies everything you could want in a franchise quarterback, whether the talent is there or not. Intangibly, mentally, he's got everything you could ever want, and you're going to blow that for someone that might not even be able to play, that it might be the most morally corrupt person possible, that would shake up the locker room, that will cause absolute rupture among the players that have got attached to Jalen Hurts, that will cause disgust amongst the fan base. I don't get it, and I want to stand by that I don't think the Eagles should trade for Deshaun Watson. I don't think they will trade for Deshaun Watson. I don't think they can trade for Deshaun Watson, and I'm going to leave it there. I just want to put a massive point blank period that I don't think any team should be trading for Deshaun Watson right now. Does it make sense logistically if all of these magical stars align? Potentially, I can get why Roseman would be interested. Does that mean he should do it? Absolutely not. Guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section below. From myself, Liam Jenkins, I'll talk to you again soon.